All right. So he gets to Ezekiel and then he says, Son of man. And then he picks him up. He takes him to the valley. Ezekiel describes it. And then he says, when I got to the valley, it was full of bones. And then he says, lo and behold, they were very dry. He does not say they were dry. He says they were very dry. The word very there, Ezekiel is trying to tell you that there was no hope when I was looking at the bones. It's one thing to be dead, and it's another thing to have decayed. So when he's looking at the bones, there is no hope that something can happen to them. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. And then God says to Ezekiel, Son of man, can these dry bones live again? Live again. And that's so fair. Kiso parasale. Who is this? He did not say, can these dry bones live? No. He said, can these dry bones live again? So he's saying, Ezekiel, these bones that you're looking at, they were not born dead. They were not born dry. There is a certain period of time when they used to be alive. So come here, prophet, speak to me. Can they live again? I really want to preach, so if you can preach with me, I'll preach better. Sit down, sit down, sit down. And then he says, tell me something, preacher. Can they live? When you look at them, do you think that they can live? And I know Sabrakta Villa has. And then Ezekiel throws it back to the owner. And then he says, oh Lord, only you know. But there's a principle that the Lord is exposing there, Pastor. He's saying there is nothing that I, God, will ever do before I speak to watchmen of territories. This side is quiet. Let me try this side. He says, I know what I want to do, but there are certain counsels, there are certain spiritual beings that we need to consult before we put our agenda into picture. I am Elohim. I am the author and the finisher. I know what I want to do, but there are prophets that we need to speak to. And then God said, Ezekiel says to the Lord, only you, God, know. So the authenticity of your prophet is not in his ability to pick numbers and ID numbers and phone numbers. The authenticity of your prophet is in his ability to take you back to God. That I know you want me to be involved in the prophetic equation, but only you know. And then God says, okay, now that you have given me my position, let's talk. Now that you have brought it back to me, let's begin the equation. And then he says to him, sit down. Before you crave my style, sit down. And then he says, prophesy Son of Man. He does not say, he then says, oh, prophesy. Noye kavesi ndakaona m'Bible Mwari achikuza chiprofita. Iwo akanyarara iwo. Mwari achikuza chiprofita. Kuti profita. Masumurira magana ndakutanga name. It's all right. Stand there. Profita mano mai profita. Haya. God did not say lay your hands on the bones. God said prophesy. Prophecy is not to make us celebrities. Prophecy is to give birth to solutions. Mantos caprante variata. He said, now that you've brought it back to me, prophesy. I really want to preach in this place. If you preach with me, I can preach better. If you are here, say, oh. Yeah. Now that you have given it back to me, we can begin our conversation. And then he says, prophesy, Son of Man. Oh, prophesy. He does not end there. He then says, prophesy and say. Haya. God is saying to everything that is dead, there is an ancient technology that we can use to resuscitate it back to life. And that technology is called speak to the bones. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. I never told anyone to stand up, right? So it's about to get hot in this place. And then he says, speak to the bones. Yeah. Are you seeing that these bones are dead? And in his summary and narration or explanation, if you went to school, the prophet says they were very. The word very there is the word to explain the intensity of the dryness. He said, when I looked at them, they were not just dry, they were very dry. And despite the dryness, the Lord then said, speak. Yawaifunga uti ndopa waperera. Iwagarara rekanisiane newe. Dati pawaifunga kuti ndopa waperera. Sawaifunga uti wagaramba nemurume ndopa waperera. Sawaifunga kuti business laka broka ndopa zaperera. Kuna izike rianzienda unoporofita.